Hi, welcome back to Ferrigno Freedom channel. I'm Dante Ferrigno and I've been on a carnivore diet now known as the Lion diet for the past 4+ years, and it has changed everything like you just wouldn't believe. Well, today I am going to be making some lamb loin chops. This is one of my favorite snack foods when it comes to eating on Lion diet. Now it's not a snack, but it's like a snack. To me, it's like eating chicken wings, but I don't eat chicken. So lamb loin chops give me that same feel of eating chicken wings that I used to have. And you'll say, why don't you eat chicken, Dante? It's a meat. You can eat any kind of meat, can't you? Well, a lot of us can. A lot of carnivores can eat any type of meat and be just fine. But I'm a bit more sensitive as far as the things that affect my body negatively. So I'm on Lion diet. I only eat ruminant animals. Those are animals that have the multi-chambered stomachs that chew the cud when they eat, and their digestive system is quite different for how it processes the food that they eat. Whereas chickens and pigs and things like that are monogastric animals don't have that same digestive system, and they have a very different diet than ruminant animals do. Ruminant animals only eat vegetation, so their diet is very specific and their body is made specifically for digesting that type of diet. And that's one of the reasons why they're known as the clean animals in the Bible, is that they were the animals that have the cleanest meat. And that meat makes a big difference for people like myself. So that's why lamb loin chops today. So let's take a look at how easy this can be when you're on a carnivore way of eating and you've got the aid of one of the most wonderful machines that's ever come along, known as the air fryer. Yes, I said the air fryer for cooking meat is fantastic. I never would have thought the air fryer would be the way to go, but it has been one of the reasons why I've been able to stay on a carnivore way of eating for over 4 years, is the simplicity and ease of the air fryer. So another thing about Lion diet that makes it kind of unique is that I can't use any other spices. Spices affect my digestion in a way that's not good. I used to love spicy food, but I can't do it anymore. I can only have salt. So one of the things that you'll find on my channel is that all of my meat is cooked only with salt. Now Redmond has come out with a type of salt called smoked salt, where they actually smoke the salt like you would smoke the food itself, but instead you're just smoking the salt that you're putting on the food, so you can get that smoked flavor without having a smoker. And I'm not against having a smoker, it just takes a lot more time to use a smoker than it does to use an air fryer. Also, the difference in cleaning time. So here I am taking some Redmond smoked salt. They come in several flavors. You've got your chef's blend, you've got your cherry wood, and you've also got hickory smoked wood. They have a seasonal one too that's apple pecan, but I'm out of that. So I just put a couple of grind turns on each piece, on each side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now smoked salt doesn't need to be ground, but I find that it actually sinks into the meat a little bit better if it's not its full size. It's kind of like kosher salt. Not as big as coarse salt, but not as small as fine salt. And I'm grinding it to the highest level on this OXO salt grinder here. Now once I've done both sides, I want to get the front edges. And these are basically just like little T-bone steaks or little porterhouse steaks, depending on how the meat's cut. See here you got one that's basically like a T-bone because it's got a very small tenderloin side and a nice loin chop side. And then you got one like this one here. This is more like a porterhouse because it's got a much larger piece on the tenderloin side, and it's still got the whole loin chop side as well. So I'm just standing all the pieces of meat up on their sides. Now there was another way you can do this. I've just always done it this way. You could simply put the salt on the plate and then dab it around on there. But I've gotten used to doing it this way, so this is the way I do it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That way I got plenty of salt on the edges. I'm going to pick up whatever salt fell on the plate too. And then we're going to take our air fryer. Place the meat into the air fryer. And you can see they all fit comfortably with a little bit of space in between them. Now normally I would say you can just stick them in the air fryer for about 12 minutes at 450 degrees or 13 minutes at 400 degrees and they're going to come out just right. Now it varies depending on the thickness of the meat as well, but I am going to use the temperature probe. Even though these are very small pieces of meat, they're still big enough for the probe to work if you get the right piece, and you can see this entire probe can go in here. So we're going to use this one. Stick it all the way in until there's a little bit sticking out. And when you put your tip on the Adreo Chef Maker, just make sure you don't have anything gumming up the little electrodes there. The electrodes on the front of the Chef Maker touch the electrodes inside the machine to let it know how to stay controlled. And that way your thermometer is completely inside the unit. You don't have it sticking out of the unit. All right, so I'm going to go to chef mode, and then I'm going to go to lamb loin chops, and it reminds me to put it in about roughly a ½ inch from the bone. Ensure that the probe is at least halfway into the food, and then I'm going to go for sous vide flavor. And then we're off to the races. It's going to calculate and it's going to figure out about how long it's going to take. And then it'll not only calculate the amount of time and let me know about how long it's going to take, but it'll send me a message on my phone 5 minutes before it's done to let me know that it's almost done, and then it'll send me another message when it's completely done. So that's a unique thing about the Adreo Chef Maker. I love that it just makes it so easy to cook your meat and not have to worry about overcooking it or undercooking it. You just set it and forget it. Okay, it just came up and gave me its estimated time left. It said 1 hour and 4 minutes. It is currently 13 minutes after 10 a.m. Let's see how long it actually takes. All right, they literally just finished. It is 11:07, so they got done in 6 minutes short of an hour, so 54 minutes. It didn't take 1 hour and 4 minutes as I suspected it might, and boy, do they look good. Ooh. They look so crispy. Let's see how they look on the inside. These are supposed to be, I guess, medium rare. I don't know if I even remember setting the time, the temperature setting. I just set them for lamb chops. There's our main one. All right. You know what? I don't want to let any of that juice go. There we go. Let's get that fat on there. So there we go. Lamb loin chops. I like to eat them just like chicken wings. Just pick them up by the bone. Man, these are so good. Even my 17-year-old said the other day that he could be a carnivore if this was all he had to eat. He loves these lamb loin chops. And even though I love the way they come out of the air fryer when I put them in for just 12 minutes at 450, this is so much better. This is just like perfectly juicy on the inside. It's dripping with juiciness. I love it. So yeah, lamb loin chops. If it's something you've been afraid to try because you've never cooked anything like them before, they're super easy to cook and they are so delicious. And at $5.99 a pound, which is what I get them for at Sam's Club, you can barely beat the deal for a ruminant animal. I mean, I saw they had Eye of Round for sale at Publix the other day for $7.99 a pound. I would never pay that much a pound for it, and that was the sale price. So lamb loin chops are a great way to get your ruminant meat without spending a whole lot of money, and they're delicious and they're easy to cook. Simple. That's the way I like to make my carnivore lifestyle. Simple as possible so I can keep at it. Anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. We'll see you next time. Stick around for a word from one of our sponsors.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
Hey, it's Dante Ferrigno. I just wanted to thank you first of all for watching this video, but I also wanted to tell you about my merch shop. I have a link in the description for a bunch of different items I've put together for you to be able to show your support for the carnivore lifestyle, and every purchase helps me to keep doing what I'm doing here on Ferrigno Freedom.